What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to X-Plane 11, and welcome to the Vulkan special. So before we get started here, a couple of points of note / interest. This is all experimental. This could easily crash on me. This could easily screw up. This could freak out on me. Things could freeze up. Things could go crazy. We could have a helicopter coming through the building, because that's normal too. So and my internet could be stupid. That's also a possibility here. Apparently, I'm having some issues with my stream here. Ugh! Of course, I can't change stuff while I'm live. Let's hope it kind of smooths out. I have noticed about 5 o'clock I start having some issues here. All right, let's kill the music. So we are here at the Zibo 737. Is it really? Hold on. So what? That's not an issue. I am having issues with my encoder. And it doesn't make any sense because let's see what happens here. Everything looks good. CPU's fine. It's the internet. It keeps dropping. That's what it is. How you going, Dimitri? Come on, internet. Don't do this to me. All right, guys. I'm going to have to go in and change some settings. So stand by with me. I will be right back. All right. Sorry about that, guys. It's like I said from the get-go. Expect things to kind of go awry here. So be patient with me. And now this is not wanting to. Oh my god. Why? Why is this? Are we good now? Is it actually going to capture it? Oh. What is going on here? Stream is experiencing issues. What issues am I experiencing? Okay, so all right, so problem number 1. Whenever I go off of my encoder into the actual sim, it starts killing my frames in the encoder, which is interesting. So let me try something. Let's change this. Don't want it. All right. Let's see if this helps. Nope, it goes crap again. Look at that. Okay, this is interesting. So this is hurting me. Let me check something. Checking my CPU usage here. It's my GPU. Okay. My GPU is dying. That's nice. So if you guys got if you're trying to stream, your GPU might crap out on you, which means I'm probably going to have to change this to... And where did that go? Oh, no. Where did it go? Oh, my gosh. Oop, that's not going to fix it. Now my encoder just zipped off the screen for no reason. All right, let me get this back to what it was. And there it is. All right, I'm going to put this over on this screen so I can maintain that. Let's try dropping it to 2K here. Let's try that. All right, I think that's the solution. So apparently, my GPU is not powerful enough to run Vulkan and encode at 4K, which, okay, I can believe that. That means, though, is, unfortunately, I now have to play it at 2K, which may not sound like a big deal for y'all, but that's kind of a bummer for me. This setup over here. Right. Pop out the chat. And I'm sorry, guys. This is not normally how my streams go. That's for sure. But is everyone seeing it nice and smooth now? Is anyone having any issues? Is everything smooth on y'all's end? I just need to know. Looks fine. Looking good. Okay, it's great now. Perfect. All right. Well, welcome everybody. My name is Micah. If you guys are new, welcome to the club here. We're going to be flying from Salt Lake City to Denver. And of course, we are on Vulkan, which is 11.50 Bravo, X-Plane 11. And I know there's been a lot of questions in regards to what this does and kind of the whole point behind this. I've watched a lot of videos recently trying to get the gist of what's this supposed to do for us and so forth in regards to, actually giving us a better product. So Vulkan in and of itself is basically like a new way of encoding shaders, textures, and other assorted visual graphics and moving that from the request into the actual card itself, pushing it to the screen. So it's I have seen an improvement in my frames. I have seen about a 10% improvement. 10 to 15, depending on 20 in some cases. So I'm running Zibo mod. Of course, in 4K, I was at about 40 frames per second on low settings previously. Now I am running at about 48 frames per second at medium to high settings. So there is an increase in frames for sure. Is it the end-all be-all? No, it's not going to be the end-all be-all, but it does definitely help. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do a flight. I'm going to fly, obviously, and we're going to see kind of how it works in relation to actually interacting with the sim. And I'm going to keep this up here in the upper left-hand corner. Of course, you can't see it. Let's see. I can't move that, can I? No, I can't. But you know what I can do? I can move my head. We'll move it down to the bottom right because I can. I'm going to move this as well. You know what? We'll just move that off the way. Make that disappear. All right. So my actual frames right now are running at 53. Flights, the sim is running between 49 and 53. But of course that is, varying, and we'll see how that goes. For AMD users, I'm an Intel user and an NVIDIA user. If you have AMD, you're going to see almost a double in your usability of it because of Vulkan. That's mainly because of the way OpenGL works with AMD. AMD did not have a very good OpenDL. So Intel did, AMD did not. Now Vulkan comes in and kind of changes the game because Vulkan runs really well on both sets. So we'll see that kind of play out as we go. So if you guys have any questions in regards to Vulkan, my setup, stuff like that, let me know, and I'll do my best to answer them as best I can as we go forward. I am using XPilot. We'll be using that today, which reminds me I need to go ahead and connect here. What was you know what? I didn't even start at Fly Live Studio. Good grief, guys. Let's see, departure, Salt Lake City. Call sign today. Solaris 2438. All right, 2438. Okay. Make that go away now. That should pop up on the bottom. Go ahead, Joe. Ask your question. I think it does. I haven't tried it. If it doesn't work, then I'll know. You are all along for the ride as well. Nope, it looks like it connected just fine. So I should be good. 122.8. Make that primary. Fly Live is just it gives you the things you see at the bottom of your screen down here. This information, it just puts that in there. That's all I do. I live in Alabama. How are you? I'm doing well, man. Thanks for asking. All right, we do have ground power here. Let's go ahead and get the battery powered up. That online here. All right, and then go to steady. And we'll get some air conditioning flowing here for the passengers. All right. We do want to go ahead and get the IRS lining as well. Let's go ahead and get some stuff set up in the weight, fuel, and balance. I I have noticed, guys, if you're looking down, you get better frames, obviously, than when you're looking outside. That's just the nature of, that's how it was beforehand, so no real difference there. Payload today, ooh, I need to change to kilograms. Local time is 5:20. Yep, they are basically AC. You turn them off because you don't want fumes of the jet fumes coming in from outside into the cabin. Not seeing me at VATSIM. Give it a second. It probably has to load up. Kilograms. Barrow. I think that's... sync it to captain here. And I think that's... oh, you know what I have to do? I have to go into hardware here, turn this on.
Pull up. Pull up.
And Angelo Guzman, thanks for the follow, man, and subscribing here on YouTube. Thanks, sir. If you guys want to subscribe, be sure to hit the subscribe button, and of course also hit the bell notification icon so you get notified. Of course, that has not been working very well either. All right, gonna set that. Oop, I didn't set something else. Dadgummit, guys. Setting the whole. It's basically like I'm starting over. It's crazy. Yes, so that is a big thing. Yes, and I'm glad you brought that up because that is very, 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 very true. One of the biggest things that this will also do is... oh, it's locked. Why? Is it on? It is. One of the biggest things this will also do is it loads up the scenery in front of you behind the scenes. So when you're coming up, it actually doesn't like freeze for a second and then load up and then go. So that's a big improvement. Do you need a clean install? You don't need one. I would highly recommend creating a second clean install and installing it in there because not everything's working as it should. And it's just best to go and do that. All right, let's go and start that. And there's one more thing I need to do here. Visual. No. Hardware? No. Display invariance is definitely in here. Landing lights, LED pulse. Make sure all those are on. Yes, yes. Wait. All right, I think we're good there. Let's go into the FMC here and let's go and start dropping in the Align GPS. We're going from Salt Lake City to Denver. This is the Zibo, yes. This is absolutely the Zibo. This is the latest 3.40.6 alpha, I believe, is the current one. So it's the most up-to-date. What was my call sign again? 2438. I need to remember that. What is the weather like here? 40 at 13, so gonna give me 17. Doesn't make any sense at all. Check. Let me check here. No, we're gonna take 3-4 left. Yeah, we're gonna take 3-4 left. All right. 0.7's out now. Of course it is. Between me downloading it in 6 hours ago till now, of course there's a new one out. I am on VATSIM today, yes. There's not currently a controller here in Salt Lake City, but I am doing VATSIM, yes, absolutely. All right, routes. We don't have any real, we're just gonna do departure and arrival. RD1. Hey! We're purdy, guys. We're purdy today. Denver. Thompson 8 with Shea transition is the current weather in Denver. Yeah, we'll take 16 left. Activate that. George Jr., thanks for the subscription, man. Appreciate that. I am using Active Sky. It's not currently set to work right now. I'm using it as reference. I currently just have the default, real world weather set up here. But I do have it. I just don't have it quite set up properly yet. I don't know if it works or not, to be honest. So yeah, I can't really speak to that. I need the performance page, please. We need to go in here and set all this up. All right. We're looking at a payload. Well, fuel today is 5,900. Wow, guys, no joke. It's exactly 5,900. That's not up or down. It's literally 5,900, period. Look, I'm not joking. 5,900. That is so rare to get an actual even number. Honeycomb versus CH products. Honeycomb over CH products, yes, I would recommend that over CH. But if you can't afford Honeycomb, then obviously CH is going to be better than nothing. All right, so calculation here. Ooh. What's my zero? My zero fuel weight is totally okay because I haven't inputted that in yet. All right, 62. Oh, let me go ahead and add in my people. My people. Forgot my people. All right, perfect. And what do we got now? 57. Okay, so we're looking at 627 minus 7031. 5,007. And Noah Deus, thanks for the subscription, man. Appreciate it. What does Vulkan do? Vulkan is a graphics API. It helps. It's basically, it does all the different conversions and stuff from your actual data into pushing it into the sim and all the hardware and how it routes it. It's just a lot more efficient than OpenGL. OpenGL is a really old system. So it's just basically does it in a much more efficient manner. All right, that should give me a little out of the thing there. So let's shift this down just a tad. Even though it's not going to be my actual, that's fine. That'll work. Well, that'll do. If we got. And let's get, let's see, fuel. Where's the, they changed this on me and it's gotten me confused. Call the fuel truck. Oh, man. All right. So, let's set this. Everything's set up here. Yaw dampener on. Oh, we're going to turn all these suckers on. Well, yeah. Ooh, haven't started APU yet, so that's fine. Window heats. And let's set this 35,000. And landing altitude is the Mile House City, so 5. About there. I think it's actually 400. What's the actual altitude of Denver? 5.4. Yep. Okay, so it's actually going to be 5450 will be my landing altitude. All right. Gotta wait for my fuel truck to pull up here. Cost index will be 36 today. Cruising altitude 35. My wind's like up in the stratosphere. Not really stratosphere, but sounded cool. 264 at 63. So as you can see right now, I'm running at about 56 frames per second. And that's with, I guess I should have shown this guys from the beginning. This is where my graphics are right now. I got high on the visual effects, high on the texture quality, anti-aliasing ×2 SSAA, FXAA, World objects high, reflections minimal. Obviously, I'm using the Vulkan for my rendering. And my specs, what are my specs? Type exclamation specs. Actually, I might be able to do it just here. Yeah, I can do it. So you guys can see what my specs are. Yes, I have seen improvements, ML. So those are my specs. So that's what I'm running with. Of course, I'm running at 2K right now. I was running at 4K, and we're having issues with my encoder. My GPU could not handle it. All right, we're going to stop the services now. Close up the service doors. Start the flight leg. Welcome everybody aboard.
Morning, folks from flight deck. Chair, Captain, for the ride. It looks like it should be pretty good. So we're planning on a smooth ride. Get there as soon as we can, and as safe as we can. We'll talk to you once we get airborne. Welcome aboard.
All right, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Flood panels on. Panel lights soup coming up. Circuit breakers coming up as well. Oh well. Chewy news? No, I did not. I did not. I don't know about the Chewy news. What about Chewy news? I know who you're talking about, but no, I have not heard anything. I have not updated my GPU driver. I probably should do that. That might be a good idea. Chew's dad died. Oh man, that freaking sucks. Really sucks, man. Man. Coronavirus, of course. Gosh. Well, my thoughts and prayers go out to him, man. That sucks. Really does. If any of y'all actually know him, let him know I'm praying for him and his family, and if he needs anything, don't hesitate to give me a shout. I'll do whatever I can. He's a streamer, Dimitri, slash video guy. He does YouTube. I think it's YouTube. Maybe it's Twitch. He does X-Plane though. Pull up. Yeah, we're good on fuel, so we can go and pull that. And revert reserves today. Oh, I exited it. Dadgummit. 1,000. I am doing well, BX7 iOS. Hope you are as well. Let's do the performance calculator. Well, I'm glad that he recovered. I am hopeful with this new introduction of this drugs that we're going to be seeing a lot more recoveries. Hopefully. Hope so. All right, so looking at Toga, 26. No, select temperature. Takeoff, 5 flaps, full center of gravity, and a little bit different on the speeds here, but really close. All right. Execute the legs here. Clear that discontinuity. All right. FNLN, yes, it's going to help you out a little bit. It's not going to be anything crazy, but it will definitely help. All right, let's get the APU APU started here. All right, and let's close up the doors. Make sure the main doors close as well. Now you'll notice as I get all the systems up and running and it starts processing, my frame rate does drop a little bit. And that's going to happen. I've noticed that. $530 from MFRA, minimum flat projection altitude. That will make that go away. Yes. All right. Using VR. Now, that's another thing. This particular Vulkan specifically does increase, well, not increase, but does definitely help with the VR. So, definitely an option. Mel, I would recommend going with something that may be a little bit more powerful than 2060. I am not a real pilot. I have done a few flight hours, but nothing crazy. So I wouldn't really say I have enough experience here. All right, packs are going to go off. Let's go and request pushback here. And we're going to this direction, I think. Or, nope, it's this direction. I think this is 3-4 left. Nope, 16 left. Okay, so either way, it's going to be tail to the alley.
Ground to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Go and
Ground
come
to
pick me
cockpit.
up.
Tow is driving up.
All right. Tow's on the way here. I don't care about the master caution. Don't need that right now. 2, 1. All that set. We don't have any ATC, so 2000. Just go alt off for now. Or I guess it's not alt off. There we go. Yes, I am. At least I'm supposed to be. It's showing me that I'm connected. Go. But it's not showing my transponder working. That's interesting. Maybe I'm not. Captain Leo, thanks for the subscription, man. Appreciate that.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
You know what? I think X-Pilot just crashed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure X-Pilot just crashed. Yep, it just did. Let's try bringing it up again. Now it's registering mode C. Okay. Interesting. Maybe X-Pilot needs an update. It's working now. Now it's saying mode C and connected. So, I don't know. Alright, APU is connected. We'll switch over to that. Disconnect to ground power. Ground services, GP disconnect.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Alright, release the parking brake.
Starting pushback. And you may start engines.
Alright, number 2. APU bleed going on. Number 2, ground. Waiting for N2 to rise. Vulkan is a graphics API that basically translates the information from the actual data into pushing it through the graphics card and the hardware into your actual monitor. I just sneezed. All right. So anyway, what helicopters? This is not VATSIM traffic. This is X-plane being stupid traffic. So we're just gonna ignore that. All right. Nope. I do not have X-Plane from Steam. I bought it from the website. Alright, number 2 to run. Get up Avi tab here. Airport information. That is just bugged AI. That's just, yeah. Bugged AI. Alright.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Parking brake set. Alright, we're gonna go Echo.
Disconnecting.
Bravo.
Stand by.
Alpha 1 to 34 left. That's what we're gonna do. Alright, so you off, AP bleed off. Gen 1 and Gen 2 pulling just fine. Packs going on to auto. Looks good. Everything on here looks good. Anti-collision lights can come on now. These can go to continuous. Probes on. Those are all on. Heat's on. Disconnect enhance, and it looks like we're ready to go.
3227 is
3004 is the barometer. I should have set that already. Alright, I will do. Thank you so much.
So it's disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Alright, appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Alright, so we're going to take 3-4 left. So we're going to push. We're going to move forward, I guess you could say. We're going to take Echo, Bravo, Alpha 1. Alright. It should be automatic, Christian. Should automatically pop up for you. We get the hand signal and he shows me the pin. He's got the pin and the hand signal, so we're good to go. Go ahead and get rid of this here. Go flaps 5. Auto brakes RTO. Systems here. Elevator full down, center, full back, center, full left ailerons, center, full right ailerons, center, full left rudder, center, full right rudder, center. Perfect. Alright, back to engines. Put them up here. For now, 5 is set, green on that. So we are ready to taxi. Turn on those lights right there. I have pedals. With braking, I mean, you can set a key if you want to do that. That's probably going to be your best option. So, with everything running, everything's kind of up and running. You notice that my frames have dropped now to about 44 frames. That is, of course, that is with 2K and the Zibo mod. This is default everything, except I have better pushback, Avi tab, terrain radar plug-in. But my settings have been dramatically increased, and that's what I'm really excited about. I used to have anti-aliasing off, high quality disk texture quality, to high, medium. Visual effects high. Number of world objects were on medium for me. Reflection was still off. So I have improved my overall frames, maybe about 10 or so in general. Let's make the call here on Unicom. Let them know we're taxing 3-4 left. Salt Lake City International, Solaris 2438 at Terminal C. Taxiing to runway 34 left via Echo Bravo Alpha 1 for Salt Lake City traffic. All right. Let them know that. We'll go and release the parking brake. We'll add a little bit of engine thrust here. All right. Yep, so the donation...
3227, pushing back, Charlie 4, Salt Lake City.
Where Charlie 4 is. So yeah, the donation thing, that is for ground school. I am trying to get money so I can do a online ground school, get that completed, so I can go ahead and come into actually trying to get my pilot's license well up and ready to go. before I get into the cockpit. I've been advised by several high-profile CFIs that that is the way to go. Do your ground school first before you get into the cockpit. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, it's kind of up to you what you want your frames to be at. I like to keep it about 40 or so. That to me seems pretty smooth, a good compromise. What is this happening right here in front of me, though? Default cloud shadows going crazy. This is this is a beta, so things are gonna happen. My gosh. Yeah, if you guys have epilepsy, I recommend looking away, because it is absolutely freaking out right now. Is there a way I can go in here? Turn off that. Cross shadows and see. Now that's already set, so I don't think I can touch that. Yep, there's online ground school. Yeah, it's there's some actually really good ones out there. I'm using XPilot, and it's working so far. I don't know what to tell you. I think my wife texted me here. She did. My wife did text me. Let me reply to that. All right. Can I see you before left? I don't think so. I know, texting it. Maybe it's not working. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna disconnect. Yeah, it just froze again. Yeah, it just froze again. So we're gonna disconnect from VATSIM. That way I don't have to worry about this kind of stuff. I don't think I have the models installed actually, because I was, you know, holy freaking crap. Joe, you're about to bring me to tears, man. $100. Thank you so freaking much. You're in medical school. What's the rest of the message? I can't. Come on. Hold on, I gotta make this large so I can see this. Here's going to ground school hopefully soon. Thank you for your content and your help with X-Plane and medical school. It's barely any time to learn and play, but I love to fly. Well, thank you so much, man, for your $100, especially being in medical school, man. I don't know how you can afford giving me anything. Dude, thank you. And thank you for taking the call to be, you know, be a med student and doing that kind of stuff. Especially now with everything that's going on. So big up to you. Let's get some, I don't know. I don't really have anything in it. Let's just stay up in the skies in the chat or something. I don't know. Thank you so much, Joe, man. You blowing me away. Blowing me a freak away. Student loans. Yeah, I know, man. Thank you, Wilbur. Appreciate that. Man. To you, Joe. Pro Chick, how's it going? Oh, gosh, I keep hitting that lever. I'm still thinking about Joe, man, come on. Hey, Joe, make sure you go to my Discord. And I don't know if you're part of my Discord. Make sure you go join there so I can send you a private thank you letter. Private thank you message, I guess you could say. Our Gaming's donated 3 bucks. Ain't much, but it's honest work. Thank you so much, Ryan. I do appreciate it. That's okay, man. That's thank you. Obviously, you guys don't have to donate, but if you do, obviously, I super appreciate it. Protig, no! No! Are you doing okay now? You could type !specs and it'll show up there. How do you read the minimum on the chart? So it's very simple. I'll pull up the one that we're supposed to do in Denver. Approach ILS, what was it, 16 left? So you just look up here at the top. You have your localizer, your final approach course, your glide slope intercept point and altitude, and then here's right here. This is your minimums that you put in. So ILS DAH, that's what it is right there. Well, I'm glad you're doing well, Protic. That's good to hear. All right, we are just short of the runway, so landing light's going to come on. Those are on. Let's go strobe and steady. Those are both on. Let them know that we're about to take off here. Fly set 5. Figure checked. Slab set. Stabilization unit set. Trim is set. Cabin secure. MCP is set. TARA. You know what? This is why you do a strobe lights, landing lights on. We're good to go. All right, let's get on out of here. I am saving up for the M0A online ground school. You guys can look it up. He does YouTube. He's a really good instructor. I've been watching his videos for a long time. He's actually helped me in X-Plane because he does real life stuff. So yeah, guys, if you guys are new, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the like button down below, and hit the bell notification icon, because if you don't hit the bell notification icon, you'll get notified when I go live. I go live about 3 times a week. We do this. All right, let's get going here. Speed up, stabilize. Stabilize. Toga. Forward pressure on the yoke. Cross check.
V1, rotate. Positive rate.
Positive rate. You're up.
400.
MFRA. Start to descend a little bit. Let's not do that. And flaps all the way up. We'll go Command A on this now. So autopilot has the aircraft We'll make sure it climbs appropriately and doesn't go crazy on us here. When Ada says 2916, that means the altimeter is 29.16. Yes. Yes, that is correct. Hello from Echo Papa Kilo. Where's that at? I don't know that. Are you waiting for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 or X-Plane 11? Well, I'm in X-Plane 11 now. I'm ready for 2020 to come out. You mean X-Plane 12? Okay. I want 2020 to be the best thing that's ever been, because I'm always wanting better and more. So 2020 sounds good. M as in Mike, 0, spell out 0, A as in Alpha. What do you learn in a online ground school? Everything in regards to... Hold on. Everything in regards to, you know, how to read charts, how to do a pre-flight on the aircraft, how to... You know, what systems do what instruments mean what, how they work, all these stuff that you can learn like through a book and through lectures and stuff like that. Not actually getting hands-on. That's what ground schools are for. All right, there's some questions in here I've missed, and I'm sorry if I've missed them. Fly Guy, are you on the most up-to-date version of Zibo? Go ahead and increase this up to 35. $35,000. We'll change the heading to match. I don't know why I would be climbing slow. It seems odd. It could be the fact that your aircraft's not going to climb fast unless it absolutely needs to. So, depending on your requirements for your SID, it may not climb too fast. Have you tried flying different departures? Do I recommend the A330, the Boeing 767? I'll recommend the 767 any time of the day because it is way more in-depth and up-to-date than the A330. Are the pull-up sounds for you annoying? Well, of course they're annoying. They're supposed to be annoying. You want pull-up sounds to be annoying. I am flying with Solaris right now, which is a virtual airline. It's a livery I created. Again, if you guys are new, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and hit the notification icon, the little bell thing, and make sure you're going to get notified in future when I go live. You will notice that right now I'm getting about 49, 50 frames per second up here, which is pretty darn good. Not bad at all. These are, of course, all default clouds and stuff. Not my favorite, but hey. The flight is relatively short. Switch to standard on both of these. We have about 377 miles to Denver. Any nasty bugs? How's Vulkan feeling? It's nice. I wouldn't say there's any real nasty bugs. Some people have had issues with it during the installation process. My highest recommendation is to have a second copy of X-Plane that doesn't have anything else in it. Make a second copy, and from there, I would recommend installing. Oh, yep, auto brakes off. Thank you for that. Installing it into that second copy, because you don't want to screw up anything else. When did you buy the game? Back when X-Plane 11 came out, so 2016. Tailwind right now is about 44 knots. 45 now. This is the normal one. This is normal. And that's another thing, guys. If you are wanting to get into, like, to learn how to fly, do flight school, now's like the perfect time to do a ground school, an online ground school, because, you know, everything's shut down. You can't actually go and fly. It's like the perfect time to go and do it. It does cost money, though. Like I said, I mean, I'm trying to get $500, and Joe just got me a fifth of the way there, like that. So thank you again, Joe. Yeah, clock aft. I don't worry about it. Yes, gear should be in the opposition. I don't have my checklist installed, so I'm going off memory, which is always not a good idea. But I haven't included the checklist yet. I just got it to where it's actually running today. I downloaded everything last night, and I installed stuff right before I got on here. So, who's Joe? The guy dropped $100 freaking bucks, man. That's who. I am not a real pilot yet. That's what the ground school will be for, to help me get there. Alright, so my frames have dropped down to about 40, 42, 41. That's interesting to note. I wonder why. 39, 38, 37, 42. I'm curious why that is the case. How long have I been doing streams? Since 2017, I think. I haven't really been doing them consistently until about a year ago. Yep, that's the, I'm sorry, year and a half, 2 years ago. That's the moon. Pop outside and see. Outside, you're getting a good 52 or so frames. It's just when you start getting in here with all the detail inside the cockpit, it starts kind of wearing down on it. Colby, it's not too confusing. So basically, there's a couple ways you could go about it, and that's where I think the confusion comes in. My recommendation, of course, haven't actually done it yet, but for my research, that got the flickering clouds, is ground school first. Find a good CFI that will teach you how you learn. Start getting your hours in. At the same time, you're going to want to knock out your FAA medical, and you want to go ahead and pass that written test before you get into a cockpit, and then you could be probably getting your solo within 20 hours, and then, you know, finish it out. How did you get the update? Well, in the installer, you have to go down and select, you know, check for beta updates, I think is what it says. If you're on Steam, you have to go to properties, select you want to receive betas, and then install it that way. Or something like that. I use Streamlabs OBS. So it's a modified OBS. I don't currently have plans to work for an airline in real life. I'm not ruling it out, but it's not my top priority right now. I'm thinking I want to get obviously my private pilot certificate. I want to get my IFR and multi-engine rating, and then I might try to go fly for a corporate or something like that, doing like charter flights and stuff of that nature. I think that'd be kind of interesting to do, like your King Airs and stuff like that. Maybe get into turbojets. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. I don't think there's an age limit for ground school. There is an age limit getting behind the controls of an aircraft, though. And there's an age limit to have your private pilot certificate. Oh, I'm sure I'll be terrified when I do my first solo. I'm sure. Is this plane run? I don't. Well, 11.51's not out yet. It's only 11.50 Bravo. What made me interested in aviation? That's a good question. I don't know what really started it. All I know is I was about 13, and I saw, excuse me, and I saw a like commercial for FSX, or maybe it's 15. I can't remember the exact age. 13 to 15, somewhere in there. I saw a commercial for Microsoft Flight Simulator X, and I was like, that looks awesome. I want to do it. So I built a computer, and I installed FSX on there, got that, and I flew it at first with a keyboard and mouse, and I loved it. And then it just kind of went from there. Then I joined Civil Air Patrol. I was part of their cadet program for a couple years. Got my second lieutenant as a cadet, second lieutenant there, which is called the Mitchell Award. So got some hours there, kind of solidified my interest in aviation. Joined the National Guard. Well, I went to senior ROTC in college with National Guard, so I'm actually an officer in the Alabama National Guard. And then I didn't really pursue aviation there, but I wanted, because I didn't want to do helicopters, so I decided, you know what, I want to get my private pilot certificate. I finally am in the position where I can start putting money aside to actually do that, so I am saving up to actually do my, well, I was saving up to do my lessons, but coronavirus had a different idea. I was a Civil Air Patrol cadet, yes. I am not in ground school yet. Once I have the money, which I am obviously accepting donations for, once I have the money, then I will then go and complete the ground school, whenever that is. Then after that, I will, obviously after COVID-19's over and done with, and hopefully I'm not dead, I'm going to actually start, you know, my actual training in the cockpit. X-Plane 11.51, I doubt will be the last one. It may be the last major update. What is your favorite plane to X-Plane 11? I really love the Zibo 737-800, and I also really love the Tolis A319. Built Brick Studios, I might send them a message, but I wouldn't count on it. A little bit difference between having 1 million subscribers and 5,000, or less than 5,000, less than 4,000. Thank you, Liam. Appreciate that. Thank you, Caleb. I am 26. X-Plane 12 has not been announced. I doubt it will be anytime soon. Yes, so, yes, Austin actually talked yesterday about scenery updates. He talked about how that's their next large thing that they're going to focus on, is getting, you know, fantastic, amazing scenery. So we'll see what that looks like. They're going to try to compete with 2020, of course, for their photo scenery. All right, just getting top of climb here. 193 miles to go. Belts can come off. What kind of pizza do I like? Pepperoni, man. I am an original guy. Pepperoni. Good old pepperoni. It's taken me 8 years to do. Yeah, I know, right? Have I ever? Yes, I have flown Spirit. Not in the sim, but in real life I have. Reminds me, so Spirit is like the public transportation of the airline industry. You get a cheap seat that has a little bit of padding, and that's all you get. And you pay a lot to get there. Well, you pay cheap, tickets, but they'll dime you for every little thing. I've never been in Poland. It's Ryanair for USA, basically, yeah. The only countries I've been to in Europe was Netherlands, Bulgaria, Spain, Germany. What's my favorite airline? Of the ones I've flown with, Delta. But Southwest can also be really good. It just depends. Depends on how full the flight is, To me, that matters way more than the actual carrier. All right, 177 miles, 176 miles till top of descent here. So you'll notice that my frames right now are about 41 to 40, and that's up at cruise. And so I actually had lower frame rates down on the ground. And you may be wondering, why is that the case? Well, because the way Vulkan works, it's in the background, it's loading the scenery that I'm going to go to. Right? It's not. And because it's loading it as I'm going, it's having to use a little bit more of my, processing power in the background. But you will notice one large thing, especially if you're VR or if you're doing multi-computer networked together, or even just regular, it's smooth. You don't have chops, you don't have cuts, you don't have it sitting there for, 5 or 6 seconds loading up. It's just, you go all the way. Yep, I did arrive in Frankfurt, yes. Cheap tickets due to coronavirus. Yeah, don't go fly, guys. Stay at home. Be smart. Personal responsibility, people. Personal responsibility. Whether the government's telling you to stay at home or not, stay at home. Just be personally responsible. What plane do you recommend, freeware or payware, besides Zibo, that I can try to learn? My recommendation would be it depends. If you want to do Airbus, you'll want to, I think the Tolis A319 is a fantastic little Airbus that you can learn to fly with. It's really good on performance too. So I highly recommend that. I would not recommend the Flight Factor A320. Maybe that's going to be improved with Vulkan. I don't know. We'll see about that. But the A319, if I had to say payware A319. Freeware, another freeware aircraft, there's not really anything that compares to Zibo, if I'm honest. So that's, airline-wise. If you're wanting to fly more GA, there's a couple options out there for you that you can look into. But in regards to, airline type, almost study level aircrafts, you're definitely going to have to look at something more like the Tolis. No problem, Liam. Hi. Hey, the Mexican. How you doing, man? A319 is used solely for passengers. I don't think there's a cargo variant. The Red Sky, no ASMR today. I told you, I hate ASMR. I just did that as a joke. It's April 1st. I mean, come on, April Fools. .248, 247 miles. So we go and start looking at making sure everything's correct here. Well, let's get rid of all of St. Louis. Oh my gosh, Salt Lake City. And arrival, we are on the Thompson 8 arrival. I hear you, Joe. The Zibo is definitely going to be your option there. Have I seen Line 11 news? No, I have not. I don't think so. 250 knots at 190. That in Thompson. And that's the only restriction, so. I have not landed at Rio de Janeiro. Any aviation podcast recommendations? I honestly don't listen to aviation podcasts. I rarely listen to podcasts anymore at all. Good night, Entity Self. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. Be sure to subscribe. Though I do know one that I have watched, and that's because it's the same guys that are going to be doing the ground school that I'm going to do. M0A. Just look him up on YouTube. He does a podcast. Alright, so that's set. Let's check out our approach here. So we're looking at our nav radio 111.1. Let's set that. Let's make that active. Nav 2. Matthews Kanto, thanks for the subscription, man. Appreciate that. Of course, be 173. We're set that on both here. 73. Heading is still set appropriately. And we're looking at 7,000 for our glide slope intercept. So we'll set that down to 7,000 here. All right. Minimums 5557, and you know me, add 40 feet onto it. So we're looking at, well, basically 5,600. So we'll just do 5,600. We shouldn't have to worry about it anyway because it's going to be a beautiful day. But just in case. 5,600. Alright, that's complete. Let's do our calculations here for our landing. What's your favorite Embraer plane? I love the 145, but there's not really a good X-Plane 145. So generally, that leaves me with running with the SSG 170, which is not my favorite, but that's okay. Pull my sim brief data here. Fantastic landing. We're looking at runway 16 left. We'll pull the weather and do our calculations. So, flaps 40 or flaps 30? Let's do flaps 30. And we'll do auto brake. Got plenty of room, so let's do auto brake 2. And we're gonna select flaps 30. And we're looking for our VREF 148. Wind correction right now, 12 knots, so I want to say, let me pull up my wind correction stuff here. Wind correction, so we're looking at 12 knots, 5 off, so 6 knots in the wind correction. Alright. put 6 in the wind correction. So we're looking at a final of about 154 will be indicated airspeed. Are you talking about... Does it sound like this? That's just, Yes, go ahead and start service. That's just, the flight attendant stuff. And it does that like every 30 minutes or something like that. That is the 1 point... Oh, shoot. I don't remember. It's not the latest update. I recommend going latest. When are we landing? Not too long. Top of descent's in 58 miles, so we're about to start our descent here. Yep, rip Pastor Escobar. I don't know. I have not installed the A320 back into the sim yet. In fact, the Zibo is the only one I have installed right now. Yeah, I don't know what my version is. I can find out. 1.9.3. That's what mine is. Maybe yours is more up to date than mine. Guess I should have had these on. Have you heard any new info regarding the NVIDIA GPU? No, not besides what was leaked not too long ago in regards to the 3000 series. And supposedly it's supposed to have been released at the end of this year, but a lot of stuff's being pushed back, obviously because production and so forth has been kind of thrown off with COVID-19. So I would, anything that was supposed to be released at the end of this year, I'd probably say is probably going to be released beginning of next year. Thank you, Elderson. Appreciate that. Pick late. Well, thanks for staying up and watching, man. Appreciate that. What's the cost of MC? I always take it from SimBrief, but I don't know how it works. So cost index is basically a way for the aircraft to fly more efficiently. So different airlines have different cost efficiency, cost index, and it's basically how much your aircraft will throttle up, throttle down, how fast it'll throttle up, throttle down, and its speed is going to use during cruise. And there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. It's basically, it allows the computer to basically decide, okay, with this percentage in a way, this is how we're going to best be able to fly your aircraft to, to meet with those fuel requirements, fuel efficiency requirements. I hope that makes sense. Airbus or Boeing? Depends on my mood, man. Boeing, if I'm wanting to do, I don't know, Boeing in most cases, but sometimes I just want to sit back and relax and let the aircraft fly. In that case, Airbus generally does better. Just because it's a newer aircraft, has newer, avionics, it's a little bit less hands-on. You can just kind of hit some buttons and it goes, Of course, that's an exaggeration, but that's the idea. No problem, Matthias. Thanks for subscribing, by the way. I know you did 7 minutes ago, but thanks anyway. Thanks again. And guys, if you are new and you have Discord, be sure to go to the Discord and join me there with over 100 others that are fans of the channel. And be sure to join me there. We talk about a bunch of different stuff. Talk about Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 coming up. Talked about Vulkan. We do aircraft reviews, all kind of fun stuff over there. So there as well. And Pick Late, thank you, man. Thanks for subbing. Appreciate it. And if you can, of course, with COVID-19 going around, I totally get some people can't do that. I get it. But if you can support me on a more dedicated monthly basis, I would absolutely appreciate it. I couldn't do what I'm doing now without your support. You were the guys that allow me to, buy the aircraft, do the tutorials on the aircraft without, having to pull money out of my own pocket, which is absolutely fantastic, even though I do it anyway. I buy so much stuff. I shouldn't buy as much as I do, but I do anyway. Go over to patreon.com/mmflightclub. There's some benefits there. You get a cool thing. Hold on. I ship it to you if you'll give me your address. Luciano, I'm doing well. How about yourself? So you get this cool little flight club patch. See if I can get it in the frame right. Really awesome. So you get that as little as $3 a month. So if you guys can support me that way, head on to patreon.com/mmflightclub and you can help me there. All right, we are down to 3637 frames per second. Interesting. It is steadily decreased over time. Am I going to fly a CTP tomorrow? No, I am not, sadly. Dylan, how you doing? All right, we're reaching our top of descent here. You know what I didn't do? Dadgummit. Runway 16 left. 4.5, 10, and quick calculation, I'm at 35,000 feet. They are at 5.4, so basically 5,000 feet, so 30,000 times 3 is 90, plus 10 is 100. All right. Descent, we're going to descend now. Forecast. Ice deviation, -1. Weather in Denver. Alright, so -1/30.02. Push that there. Execute. Alright, that'll be fine. Winds will be alright. More clouds, yeah, true. What's up, Lester? How you doing? What did you miss? Takeoff from Salt Lake City and cruise. Speaking of cruise, let them know we're descending. How I tried the Boeing 737 MAX. No. My understanding there's some type of piracy that went into that, so I'm not going to touch it. Matthias, fantastic. Rito, thanks for the subscription, man. Appreciate it. That's what I just did. So basically what I did, I went into the fix page and gave me some points, lines on the map, circles around the airport from the runway 16 left, so I could actually better, judge my distance and stuff. Just a little help thing there. The 100 miles, that is my estimated top of descent, and the way that you get that, you take your altitude minus your landing altitude and times 3, add 10, and that's what you get. I know it's kind of confusing. I go over it in my tutorials very in-depth more. Descent, what I went in here, went to the forecast and put the ice deviation and the QNH. Did not set to... It is. I don't know why it's doing that. Thanks, Wilbur. I appreciate it. I would rather you just go to Discord and join there. I don't give out my Steam account. Dylan, that's because it's almost impossible to stream with the A320 because of how frame hungry it is. Pick late, yes. Absolutely. I do too, but I don't know if it's been updated for Vulkan yet. Again, I've tried to rip this down to bare bones so I, don't have any conflicts at first. And we're now down to 36 frames. I saw it drop down below 35 as well. And it probably is all the clouds. You're probably right about that. Let's go ahead and set the barometer here. 002. Take this off standard for a second. Back to standard. Awesome, Wilbur. It is an expensive add-on. And it's old. Yeah, that is true. I do have higher graphics, and there is no stutters. Yeah, the 767, it is quite pricey. Flight factor A320 over jar design A320 because it's way more realistic and actually has SIDS and stars and all that kind of stuff in it. I don't know why you can't say anything in Discord, Wilbur. You should be able to. Whoop. Weather reload. Look at that. Frames went back up to 40. And now they're back down to 30. Oh, no, 39. 39. Yep, about 39 right now. 38. Interesting. Oh yeah, you can't chat in the welcome channel. Make sure in like general or something like that. I did check the 250 knots at Tom's. Yeah, I did. Okay. I hope it'll be buttery as well, but no guarantee, that's for sure. No guarantee. Yes, Dimitri, it is. It is. And that's mainly to facilitate Vulkan. I didn't want to throw a bunch of stuff in it at once and it break and then try to figure out what's going on with it. I've just been slowly adding stuff back into it. Dylan, get whatever you want, man. But the A350 is not done yet. Oh, it's done, but it doesn't have what you need. 757 is going to be better. Any idea what kind of people do you need to design a plane aside from programmers? You need 3D modelers. Vulkan is free. 4K performance when I'm not streaming or encoding is quite well. I had a pretty good performance between 40 to 50 frames a second depending on, where I looked on the ground, and then up in the sky I was 60 plus. So pretty good on that with my settings, but of course that could, vary depending on your hardware and what you're doing and etc. So yeah, the A350 will be updated, so I'd wait for that. I don't know if that's gonna. I don't know if that's possible. That would be freaking awesome, but I don't think that's gonna be possible. Not anytime soon, that is. I do, but I don't use it. Stavel, that's up to you. It's a beta right now, so it's not considered stable, but it definitely improved mine. If you are an AMD user, then absolutely get it. It's going to dramatically improve you. If you're Intel, I mean, it's going to give you maybe 10-20% better. Yes, the F mod comes default with the Zibo mod. All right, let's talk about the 737 MAX real fast. All right. The current 737 MAX product basically is a stolen product. They stole the model and did some slight development on it and released it as their own. With that being said, there's an entire threshold article on it if you would like to read it. It talks about the entire investigation into it, the end user license agreement violations that were done with it. And of course, there's the Walter White 737 MAX, which is the one that violated everything, and there's the Ultimate 737 MAX. I'm not sure. It's Walter White 737 MAX is directly stolen from the Ultimate Project 737 MAX. This makes the distributor of the files, Walter White, by definition, a pirate. In conjunction with that, everyone who used the stolen 737 MAX would also be taking part in piracy and must be treated as such. So, if you have the Walter White 737-800 MAX, it is stolen. Anyway. Why is it going that direction? That makes no sense. All right, we're going to manually take over here because it's wanting me to do something really crazy. We're going to go right there. Switch over from standard barometric pressure to 3002, which is current altimeter in Denver. We need to add some speed brakes. No drag's required, so I'm adding it. We're going to switch over to vertical speed here. We're going to adjust this. Yeah, I know, and that's the default cloud stuff that happens. It's absolutely annoying. Frames have greatly improved as I got closer to the ground, which is interesting. Just picked up the ILS beacon. Go ahead and has seatbelt sides on. We'll have no can prepare for landing here. I am excited for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. If for no other reason to make X-Plane 11 get back on their toes here and realize they're not the king of the world. I mean, it'll work, Dylan. It's not the best, but it'll work. Add some reflections, Corey Jones. Alrighty, guys. Past 2,000 feet, which means I go to my sterile cockpit. As I get onto my final approach, feel free to ask, or put in your guess for what I'm going to land at. There's, left right there, I think. Nope, there it is right there. There's a runway. Okay. I do have landing rate kind of plug in. It'll show up on the screen. It won't show up on my screen, but yours. Yeah, checklist, whatever. Alright. Go to continuous, steady. These off, those are all on. Well, that's set, set, set. Those are all good. We haven't been cleared. Check that. Right. Activate APP. Set this down to 180 here.
1,000 to go.
$2,500.
Flaps 5 at 10 miles out. That flaps 5 speed. And we're cleared to land. Gears come down. Flaps 15. That flaps 15 speed. All right. Captain has the aircraft.
1,000 feet stabilized, Mr. Birch, altitude set.
Final speed set on flaps 30. Auto throttle off, manually controlling the throttle now.
500. 400.
Flight slow. Flight slow.
300.
Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow.
200. Minimums.
Continue.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Cut that throttle way too late. It didn't pop up. Dang it. Now we don't know who won. Dadgum Vulcan, you done screwed me up.
80 knots.
Auto brake disarmed. All right. Yeah, we'll look at the landing and see what I got there. We'll do that once we get off the runway here. I don't know what I landed at. I'll have to look back in the cockpit and see if I can see it. Apparently, it didn't pop up on the screen. It usually pops up right here in the box. But it didn't do that. I guess that has something to do with the fact that I reinstalled, Explain. So that's probably what that is, which is unfortunate. But we'll go ahead and... Oh, no. That's not set up, is it? Dang it. That's all right. Let's copy this here. 1 second, guys. There we go. All right. Let's watch it, shall we? So my biggest issue with this landing, I cut the throttle way too late. Should have cut it right there. I didn't. It would have been such a good landing too. Dadgummit. That looked a little rough. Looked a little rough. A little off center too. Should have cut it there. and it would have been beautiful. Let's see here. I'm watching this. Probably about 250. Something like that. Alright, let's go back a little bit more here.
2,500.
1,000 feet, stabilized, Mr. Bridge altitude.
Alright guys, I do appreciate y'all stopping by tonight. A little bit of news here. I did get a temporary job, so I don't know what my schedule is going to be like, but I will be back tomorrow for another beautiful stream. Be sure to join the Discord and get notified when that's going to happen. We're going to have fun, guys. I do appreciate you stopping by. Don't forget to subscribe, like, hit the bell notification icon so you get notified. I'll get everything else fixed, guys, so that we're running super good. Yeah, I'll get everything running as it should here. I just got some stuff I got to reinstall and got to wait for things to get, configured properly. But anyway, guys, thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you guys next time up in the sky.